There is a 20 meters high statue of Mikjit Jenrasek god, which was erected from a piety, affection, and artistic ability of the Mongolians. The monastery has presently about 150 monks and a Buddhist school. The Gandangtikchla monastery is the central place for major religious ceremonies and festivals, including some dance and theatralized performance. Tsagansar or White Month is one of the big public annual events next to the Nadam. It marks the end of winter and the beginning of the New Year's cycle. On the morning of the New Year, traditionally the head of the family goes outside and walks in a direction which is prescribed in the book of Buddhist astrology. During New Year's Day itself, the children honor their senior relatives. They start with their parents and then, following the rules of genealogical seniority, the other relatives, presenting them an amount of white food or pastry. White and blue scarves, hatak, are presented to the most honored. There is a big amount of covered food, where the meat is covered by, for instance, a layer of da. Also, national pastries made in a mold and milk products are being placed on the table. Every family prepares and treats their guests by national food boats, mare milk, and dairy products. Everyone has to try all these dishes. There is a tradition to exchange snuffs and gossip during the Tsagansar. After the treating the guest, head of the family makes a present and sees the guest off. The National Sports Festival is called the Nadam, and it is celebrated every year. Since 1921, Nadam is held in coincidence with the national holiday or Day of People's Revolution on July 11th, marking the events that led Mongolia's independence. Wrestling, archery, and horse racing are the three main games of men, which are rooted in myths of antiquity and continue to be very popular among the Mongols today. The opening ceremony of the manly three games includes locating honorary symbol of Chinggis Khan, 9 white flags at the center of the stadium, military parade, and the presidential speech. During the parade, national artists and all nationalities of Mongolia who are dressed in their national costumes perform their performances. Manly three games start with wrestling, which is one of the favorite sports of Mongolians. The wrestlers wear heavy boots, very small tight-fitting loincloth, a pair of sleeves which met across the back of the shoulders, resembling a tiny vestige of a jacket, and a pointed cap of velvet. The winners of the tournament receive honorary titles and are also awarded various souvenirs. But for them, the main award is truly nationwide popularity and the fame that they gain. Mongolians are proud of their archers who are trying out their accuracies. Archers from 8 to 80 years prepare their bow and arrows to compete who has the sharpest sight and the most accurate shooting. The one who scores the most points is the winner, and the title of super marksman is bestowed on him or her. The horses for the Nadam races are selected a month before the big day. They are taken to an adequate pasture separate from the herd and trained. Race horses are divided into several age groups: 2, 4, and 5 years old, over 5 years, and stallions. The riders are aged from 5 to 12. Mongolian children of these ages are good riders, as both boys and girls have been riding since infancy. Everyone impatiently waits whose and what kind of horse will win the 25 to 30 kilometers of distance. Mongolians say that the dust came from the winning horse will inspire them in the coming year. Nadam, a traditional festival which continues for 2 days, is the most interesting days not only for Mongolians but also for tourists. There are many places in Ulaanbaatar where you can introduce with Mongolian culture and history. State drama theater and classic art theaters are compiling famous shows and corporately work with artists from all over the world. Folk art ensemble artists are introducing national culture wonders by traveling to many countries of the world. The most amazing art is long song, Homi sound, contortions, and merenkhor. Homi singing is a traditional form of a song which comes from the deep in the throat. Long song is another form of vocal music, so called because of their length. The most traditional of instruments is the merenkhor, or horse fiddle with 2 strings. Exhibit is one of the interesting things to see for Mongolians. At the Natural Museum, you can introduce with the collection of dinosaur bones, eggs, and the most big toe in the world. All these were found from the Gobi Desert. Year to year, number of exhibits at the museum rises. Winter Palace of the last Mongolian ruler, the 8th Baothang, attracts tourists' attention properly. At the palace you can see clothes, amazing and rare collection which was used by the Baothang. Mongolian Historical Museum, Natural Museum and Churchill Lamas museums are also rich of rare exhibits. Fine Arts Museum is dedicated to paintings, religious arts and artifacts. You will find a wonderful collection of archaeological artifacts from Hun period and panel embroidery. The museum also has 2 unique Tsam dance masks lavishly decorated with deep purple corals. Ruins of Kharkhorum, ancient capital city of Mongolia, Ertenzo Monastery, the holy place of Buddhism, are proofs of the long history of Mongolian development achievements. There is a homestead of Aftesa Han who preserved the hearth of Chinggis Khan from generation to generation. As you visit Ertenzo Monastery, you can find out much more about the long, complicated history of Mongolian than as usual, and therefore most of the tourists and travelers coming to Mongolia leave for this place. We try to introduce you with Mongolian people, the earth they worship, history and culture of the country, which is located at the heart of Asia. We are inviting you to visit Mongolia, wide territorial country with the kind-minded people. Welcome to our Mongolia.